Preview. Chelsea vs. Real Madrid. Prediction. Team news, lineups. Facing the unenviable task of trying to record a 3-goal win over the reigning European champions, Chelsea host Real Madrid in the second leg of their Champions League quarter-final on Tuesday night. The teams renew hostilities at Stamford Bridge with Los Blancos boasting a 2-0 advantage from their Bernabeu showdown, and Frank Lampard's homecoming has done little to end the Blues. There is no shame in losing to the European champions in their own backyard, and Lampard could have taken a few positives from his side's valiant efforts in the Spanish capital, where strikes from Karim Benzema and Marco Asensio led to a predictable victory for those in white. However, the underperforming Blues were played off the park by Brighton and Hove Albion in Saturday's Premier League clash, at one stage conceding 70% possession to the soaring Seagulls, as Conor Gallagher's deflected strike was cancelled out by Danny Welbeck's header and Julio Enciso's rocket. A 2-1 scoreline flattered Chelsea, according to Lampard, as the interim Blues boss admitted that his side were fortunate not to lose by more, and the 44-year-old now boasts an unsightly record of 3 defeats from 3 games in charge. Todd Boehly cut a dejected figure as he was given an earful from the Stamford Bridge faithful, as Lampard's dream return turns into a nightmare. Now winless in 6 successive matches since a 3-1 triumph over Leicester City under Graham Potter, Gallagher's fortunate strike against Brighton at least managed to end a 4-game streak without a goal for Chelsea, who did reverse a first-leg deficit against Borussia Dortmund at Stamford Bridge to progress to the last 8. The West London Giants have now advanced from 5 of their last 7 Champions League ties in which they have lost the first leg away from home, but they have failed to win any of their last 4 Stamford Bridge games since seeing off BVB, and historical omens will count for naught unless Lampard's side can suddenly find their best shooting boots. Potentially playing his way into a contract renewal, Real's bit-part winger Asensio came up with another telling contribution in Los Blancos' trip to Cadiz at the weekend, a few days after drilling home his side's second against Chelsea. Ancelotti understandably rang the changes for Saturday evening's clash with the bottom-half outfit, and patience was the name of the game for the La Liga champions, but Nacho Fernandez's strike preceded another Asensio effort to keep their fanciful hopes of domestic glory alive. A return to winning ways in the top flight allowed Real Madrid to cut the gap to Barcelona down to 10 points, but La Blaugrana have the chance to respond against Getafe on Sunday, and Ancelotti's men would be forgiven for prioritizing continental glory as the season approaches its home straight. From their 19 Champions League knockout ties in which they have won the first leg by at least 2 clear goals, Real Madrid have progressed from 18 of them, only falling to eventual runners-up Monaco in 2003-04, and even then Los Blancos were only knocked out courtesy of the now abolished away goals rule after a 5-5 aggregate draw. A 6th successive Champions League knockout win would also see Real Madrid set a new continental record, which have been bread and butter for the 14-time European champions, and their visit to Stamford Bridge 12 months ago ended in a 1-3 triumph, avenging a 2-0 loss away to Chelsea in the 2020-21 semis. Chelsea were forced to navigate the final half-hour of the first leg with 10 men after Ben Chilwell was given a straight red card for a last-man foul on Rodrigo, and the left-back will serve his suspension on Tuesday, surely signaling a recall for Marc Cucurella at left-back. Kalidou Koulibaly is out for a matter of weeks, with the hamstring problem he picked up at the Bernabeu, joining Armando Broja knee on the sidelines, while Kai Havertz knee, Ruben Loftus-Cheek back, and Carney Chukwuemeka knock will all need assessing over the next 48 hours. Thiago Silva and N'Golo Kanté were left out of the squad to face Brighton with the second leg in mind, while recalls for Reece James, João Felix and Mateo Kovacic should also be in order. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Benoit Badiashile, David Datro Fofana and Noni Madueke are all ineligible. Real Madrid boss Ancelotti was also without a couple of integral cogs for the weekend due to bumps and bruises, with Vinicius Jr. and Toni Kroos both missing out with muscular overload alongside calf victim Ferland Mendy. Mendy's comeback will not come this week, but Kroos and Vinicius should be good to go after their precautionary absences, so Asensio's reward for his recent goal-scoring exploits should be a demotion to the bench. In contrast, Fernandez's goal at the weekend could give Ancelotti food for thought, but as was the case in last week's victory, the fresh legs of Eduardo Camavinga could be utilized at left-back. Chelsea possible starting lineup: Kepa, James, Fofana, Silva, Cucurella, Fernandez, Kanté, Kovacic, Mudryk, Havertz, Felix. Real Madrid possible starting lineup: Courtois, Carvajal, Militao, Alaba, Camavinga, Modric, Valverde, Kroos, Rodrigo, Benzema, Vinicius Jr.